Hi, private, or not private group. Hi, Sunday group. Sunday group live, public group. God, I've been thinking that for some reason it's like private group, and I'm like, no, it's a public group. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a spring floral bike wheel wreath. So I'm sure you've probably seen these bike wheels. Pretty much almost everybody has them. Craft Outlet carries them. The Wreath shop carries them. These are not, however, a real bike wheel, but it's not to say that you cannot repurpose one if you happen to have one around, because that would definitely be a really good repurpose on that. Hang on just a second. It's just me flying solo today. So just hang tight. Let me get into my Facebook group. Because of course when you go live, that's when you experience all of your glitches in your stuff. Okay, so super simple. This is a 21-inch bike wheel. They come in 16, and I think they come in a size a little bit smaller. I prefer the bigger ones, because when you look at a 16-inch one, if you look, here's the 16-inch line here, right here. So that would make a fairly small wreath, and especially if you're going to incorporate a lot of florals, which this one is. It's just florals. We're not doing any bows. We're not adding any sign. This is just going to be strictly spring florals that you probably might see on a bike ride. So I'm going to show you how simple it is to put this together. I love the fact that this is going to give you an overhead view, which is going to give you the exact view basically that I have when I'm assembling this. So I think it'll make sense a little bit more if you saw the spring bohemian floral hoop wreath tutorial. It's going to be put together fairly similar to that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. This bike wheel came from Craft Outlet. It came as just the solid silver, just the unfinished one, and I like to buy them that way because a lot of times I will spray paint them in accordance with whatever design I'm doing. So this is the first one I've done for spring. When I started introducing these, I started with the patriotic, and then we did fall, and then we did Christmas. So this time we're doing one for spring. It could also be used for Mother's Day, Easter. It can also be used if you want a unique way at preserving artificial wedding flowers, or if they had real wedding flowers, finding some similar artificial or silk ones, and then creating this for a bride to kind of keep her florals all through her home decor. So there's a couple different things you can do. So as I am introducing the florals that will be using this, I'll tell you where I got them from. I'm going to move my camera off to the side so I don't accidentally hit it. You will need 6-inch zip ties and then whatever florals you want to place on here. So I wanted to do one all in a nice lavender color because I thought that would make for a really good spring color. So I'm going to be bringing in some purples and whites and like sagey greens, because I think those all complement each other really well. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take lamb's ear, and I got my lamb's ear from Sims Pottery, which is a wholesaler that you can order from as long as you have a business license. Without a business license, you can't purchase from a wholesaler. So they generally give you some really good price points if you want to order from them. So I am going to break this down into some usable pieces. And then what you're going to be doing, these are all wired, so you're just going to kind of curve, and you're just going to create a base. Now I want my florals to incorporate half of the frame. So I want half visible so you can tell it's a bike wheel, and then the other half will be will allow you to see the spring bike frame come through. So what you're seeing me do is exactly what you're going to do, especially if like flowers or florals intimidate you. This is a perfect way to incorporate these. So I'm just looking at creating some base florals. So this is helping me to visually see how these are all going to go. And I'm just kind of laying them on my frame just for a point of reference so that I know about how many of these I will need. So far I've used 2 of the large lamb's ear. Let me see. So let me, really quick before we get too far into this, if you guys like this video and you want to replicate it once you have all your florals, remember you can do this for any holiday. Sometimes we get so caught up on the fact that it's, well, that's a spring design or that's an Easter design, but you can use those for any holiday. So again, I'm going to do this. So just clicking the share button down below will share it to your page. That will allow you to have that available. I'm thinking that's about halfway, give or take. Okay, so we have 1, counting these out. Can we do the big one? Yes. So 1 big, 1 small. Here's our big. Here's our small piece. Here's another big. I'm going to grab another big piece off of here. So I guess I'm going to use a grand total of 4. Just to kind of keep them all going the same. And then I'll save these 2 for fillers. Okay, those are all done. Once again, these are lamb's ear. You can get these. Sims Pottery is where I ordered them from, but you can also get them at Hobby Lobby. So those are really good for really nice fillers. Okay, now what I'm going to do, my main focal flower for this is going to be this gorgeous purple peony. And you can order peonies from Amazon in the bigger size. I believe I ordered the entire bunch from Amazon, so it comes with various shades. So what you're going to see me do is just kind of pop these in. I want the purple one kind of here because we're not going to be doing any bows. So again, I'm just laying all my florals out for where I'd like them to kind of fall. So I kind of want one here. I'm going to cut this way down because Lordy knows we don't need it that big. Probably right in here. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're going to, inside that pick as well, that came with those purple peonies, they have little baby buds that haven't quite budded yet. So I'm going to have these out a little bit further. I might bring this one back. Let's bring this one back a little bit. So it's not quite so far to the front. We'll incorporate this one here. Bring this one back a little bit. Once you have all your florals placed, that's where it gets super simple. You just assemble all your pieces and then you're ready to put it all together. So you'll see how quick it goes. So this is to help those of you that are intimidated by florals. Now, jockey my stand. You can also get white rosebush, also from Amazon. These are just white roses, so I'm going to be incorporating these. They're going to be right in here. So we're going to add some white buds, the larger ones, just to break up all that purple. So I'm going to do it like that. Then, trying to find the other piece. I had them all pre-cut. Here's the other one. I'm going to take these. They're going to kind of come up a little bit higher. This helps you also to determine placement of everything else. Like, you know, should the buds be before the budding peony? You know, how do you kind of want your spacing to work? I think I'm okay with my florals like that. I am going to be utilizing a couple other peonies, which are going to fill in. They're going to kind of be down here, but we're not going to incorporate these yet. It's just helping me understand where I want things placed. I'm going to snip another rosebud off for down here as well, so that we kind of have like, we have it 2 roses and then 1 peonies, and then 2 peonies, 1 rose. And then setting those to the side, I'm going to take some white ranunculus. Let me see where your comments are. There we go. They're back. Let me scroll all the way down to see if I missed anything. Yes, I spray painted the bike wheel, and I did, it's called Lavender Krylon. So Lavender Krylon is what I used to spray paint from Amazon. Because most of the time when you go to find this at your local hardware store, they don't have purple. Okay, we're going to also take some ranunculus. These are going to kind of go in here. Again, I'm just placing them so that I can see, you know, do I like how that looks? Would I want to change anything? Okay, I did that one above the purple, so a little bit over here. Okay, we're going to grab a little bud. I'm going to use this whole pick because there's no sense in just keeping 1 or 2 florals through here. So because this one had a bud, this one doesn't, I'm going to be adding that bud to that. I'm going to probably come in here with filler and add my ranunculus for that. And we'll grab this one. And I'm saving the greenery because we're going to be using those for fillers as well. So remember, these 3 plus the ranunculus are going to be for my filler. And then I'm going to take some lavender. This is also from Sims. So it depends on how big you want to use your lavender pieces. Usually I kind of cut them like this. So that way I can kind of, let's see, I know where I'm going to put these. So I'm going to pop this one off. This is actually going to go kind of in here. And then I'm going to cut it again. This one's going to go in here. It'll actually probably go up in here. And then we'll have one a little bit further here. I'll break another pick down into 3s because all I've done is basically just pulled one whole branch apart, and now I'm cutting it down into some more usable pieces. So again, here, about halfway through, we'll do another one. This one's going to go in here. Okay. This one's going to go in here. And let's cut one more off to use as our filler down in here. So, one right here. Okay, we have one here. So we're probably going to do one there. And also one in here. Okay, so that's kind of helpy filler flower. Then, like we can't already think of another step. This is some purple baby's breath. So I'm doing the same thing, suctioning these into little pieces right in there. Just adding different colors, different pieces of florals so that it kind of creates, you know, something. Like, you just don't want solid florals. These are what I call like fillers. So these are just going to fill in the gaps so that we just don't have straight lavender, straight peony. Go ahead and do this one. We'll break this one down here. This will go up in this kind of bundle bunch. And I always love my florals to feather. Let's see. So it's not quite as furry as the other guy. So this will kind of come in here. And then we'll go ahead and cut this last one. There's that little piece. Okay, this will come in here. And we have a little piece in here. And then more than likely we're going to need a couple filler pieces in here. Okay. I know it looks weird laying it out, but you'll understand why when I show you here in just a second. Okay. Then we have Queen Anne's lace, because we need some smaller white florals. So I broke those down. Those are from Hobby Lobby. And as you can see, we're going to come up here. We're going to add those small white flowers. We're going to add some in here. Okay. We are doing the same thing over here. We're going to add our white florals. And I'm kind of putting them in 3 separate places. So if you see, it's like there's 1, there's 2, down here's our 3rd. Let's go ahead and grab this one. But always make sure that you push your greenery all the way up to the top. This one's going to go down in here. And I love getting Queen Anne's lace for great small fillers. Oop. Down there. Okay, and we'll probably need 1 piece for the bottom. I'm trying to look at which ones I like. Let's take this one. This will probably be used somewhat down in here. Okay, I think I just have like a couple other pieces. So believe it or not, when you ordered that ranunculus, or not ranunculus, the peonies, it comes with a whole bunch of extra little picks. So I'm going to kind of come in here with these pieces. And I'm just going to fill these in. Kind of right in here. Like that. I think I'm liking that. And then we'll save 1 for down here at the very bottom. I think I'm happy with that. I think I had, I'm kind of looking at these, I'm kind of looking at these little baby white roses. So as I go towards the end, like I always do heavy, larger florals towards the center, and then kind of medium, and then I feather out to the edges. So these I bought from Sims as well. So I'm just using them to have those little florals that just kind of feather out towards the end. It just kind of softens the harsh edge, so we just don't have lambs there and then it stops. We have something that feathers that edge. So I'm actually going to take this. This is going to go in here like that. Okay. And then if I need extra greenery, there's extra greenery. I think I'm done. What do you guys think? Doesn't that look just amazing? Not really. Okay. So what you want to do from here is grab your zip ties and you're going to see how easy this all goes together. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any questions. Let me see. Just make sure. So hello to everyone who has said hi, and I'm watching from XYZ. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Let me grab all these. Okay, moved everything off. So what I need to do is I'm going to pull the ones at the bottom. Remember the ones I said, oh, these aren't going to go in the mix initially. These will get added to the bottom. So I'm going to pull these. Okay, I'm going to take all this stuff here because I got to assemble the ridge first. Go ahead and pull that. Is that okay? Yes, I think we're okay. I might incorporate these. We'll hang tight. Okay, so 6-inch zip ties. You'll also need a glue gun because glue gun's going to help you with some filler. Okay, 6-inch zip ties. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to move this around. I've got halfway point, and I'm going to pick up my first set of florals that I have right here. So it was my lamb's ear. Let's see. This is where you can do some last minute touch-ups like lamb's ear sleeves fall off. We want to make sure that those stay on target. We have our lavender, which is going to feather in. Okay. We have our little greenery piece here. I'm just going to kind of intertwine those. I'm going to grab my white roses and then our little baby peony, just like this. Okay, that makes one little bundle. I'm going to take the zip tie and I'm going to zip tie this entire bundle together. As close, and I'm hoping that I'm hitting everything in this bundle. Tight, as tight as you possibly can. So as you can see, my bundle's all intact. And then, obviously that didn't hold. I'm going to make sure that all of my greenery is all the same length, just like that. There's my first bunch, okay? That was the first one I did. Now I'm gonna grab my second bunch. I can kind of tell where it separates. Oops, should have put this in there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add that because I want to make sure we get this in. Okay, another zip tie just to make sure. And of course I get a defective one just now, rather than try to hassle with pulling that whole thing off. Sometimes you just get them. Remember, as tight as we possibly can. And keep your zip tie little square on top. Because when we get ready to assemble and put everything together, we want to be able to make sure that we're covering this. Because the only thing you're going to see is once we zip tie it all together, it's all going to get zip tied to the frame. This is a little bit different than what I've shown you in the past on doing these. Okay, now I'm going to grab my next set, which is, we're going to grab our under, which is our lamb's ear. We're going to grab our roses. We're going to grab that Ranunculus bundle. We want to make sure these are all wired so we can move them in place once we get them all together. I'm going to put those in the back. I'm going to grab these florals. Let me just set those right on top. Pull them through my roses. I'm going to grab my larger peony. And then our Queen Anne's lace. Okay, there's my next bundle. I'm going to zip tie these together and hope that we don't get a defective zip tie. Tight. Get your bundles all tight. And I'm going to go ahead and put another one in here because my lavender didn't quite go down far enough. So I'm going to kind of come in here and just make sure that my lavender stays in the bundle. Okay. Just want to make sure it's all secure in there. Okay. Bundle number 2. Bundle number 1, bundle number 2. You're starting to see a pattern. And then make sure that all of your stem tips are all even. So there's those 2. And now we're going to build the last set before we grab that purple. So I'm gonna grab everything that I have here. And we're gonna do, just pulling things down and around to see what we have. Okay, let's put that in. Let's get our lavender in. Go a little deeper with this. We're gonna add our rose, our Queen Anne's lace. You know what? I think I'm gonna grab my one peony and I'm just gonna tuck it in here. I'm gonna zip tie this whole bundle. As tight as I possibly can. Snip that off and then trim up your ends so everything is all, let's see, we can move these around once they're in our bundles. So now we have our 3 bundles here. So that's halfway around. Remember, we're still gonna add some down here. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna shift these around. Make sure this goes with this bundle. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So we are doing our lambs here. I'm just following what I have on this side over here. We had our lambs there all the way up. We had our rose. We had our little bit of purple baby's breath. We had our lavender. Kind of weave these all through so it's not like one flower sitting on top of another. We have our baby peony. If you forget, just look at your other bundle and make sure you've got everything in that's supposed to be in that bundle. I'm gonna pull my lambs here down a bit. I'm gonna snug this in around the base. We're gonna zip tie this whole bundle together. So much easier when you can set it down. Okay, tight. Snip that off. Trim everything so it's even. I'm gonna save that leaf. Just like that. We've got that bundle ready to go. Add that over there. Okay, next one. Remember, we're building this bundle here. So we're gonna take our lambs here, because that's what was at the bottom. We are going to add our rose. We're gonna add the ranunculus. And we have the little bud, because that one was just off by itself. We're going to add our baby's breath. Just make sure it all intertwines. We'll add our lavender. We're adding the meadow flowers or whatever was added in with our peonies in that original mix. Remember, our ranunculus can move any which way we want, but I don't want my roses getting buried. Okay, I'm liking that. And then we need our peony, and believe it or not, our Queen Anne's lace. This is a big bundle, the medium size one. And then I'm going to attempt to zip tie it all together as high up as I possibly can, and also as tight as I possibly can. keep it all together. There's bundle number 2. Okay. Bundle number 3 is just our lamb's ear. It's right here. We have our baby's breath. I'm going to go ahead and lay that in. We're adding in a rose. I think I might grab a different rose because that one just feels a little short for me. Meaning the stem's a little short. So I'm going to bring this up. Let's push our greenery up. Okay, there's our rose. Okay, we're adding our bigger peony to this. Set this over here. We're adding our lavender and our Queen Anne's lace. Okay. Zip tie. This whole bundle as close to the florals as we possibly can. Okay. Tight, tight, tight. Okay, Kat, what'd you put? Where did you put? There you go. Let's do this. Snip. Okay. So we've got 3 bundles plus where we're gonna adjoin these together. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the bundles we've created will, once we add them to the bike frame, are going to be halfway. So I'm going to use one of the bike rim spokes to kind of help be a gauge for that. And now I'm going to zip tie these actually onto the frame. And I like to do them on top of the frame and not to the outside frame. Like some people would do them here, but then what that does is leave this exposed. So we're going right on top of our frame. And I'm going right above where I zip tied my florals together. So I have very little space to work with. Let me grab my needle nose. Okay. Make sure I get those on there really nice and tight. And the reason why I go above where I have my previous zip ties so my florals won't slide down. Okay, now we're going to take our next bundle. We're going to lay that right snug up against this. And we're going to zip tie that onto our frame. Again, trying to get above the zip tied bundle part. There we go. Okay, there's that one. Snip it off. Let me remove some of this stuff so I can see exactly what I have. So there's that, there's that. And now we're going to add our last big bundle here. Again, move your floral if you need to move your floral around. I'll be adjusting those once I get everything on and together. I just want to make sure they're where I want them to be. I pulled the rose pretty much right in there. So as you can see, it snugs right up, but it covers up. Here's my zip tie. It covers up my zip tie. Let me grab another zip tie. Okay. Up around my frame. above where I have the existing one. Nice and tight. Okay, just like this. I'm going to have this one kind of drop off to the center, and my rose, kind of want it to sit up to the front, just like that. Okay, so now I need to verify that, let me see, if I put these and I stagger them, we might need to make a center bundle, because I'm thinking if I don't think I'll have enough to do this one, but I want these ones together. So let me look. Under. Oh, we're halfway. What am I thinking? We are halfway. Okay, so I want to make sure straight down. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. If I have to move it and bring it down, we will. Let's see. So you can see how tight these are going onto the frame. These aren't going anywhere once we get all these built. And then we'll be able to fluff and move our florals around. Okay. I'm thinking it's not going to match. I think they need to go down just a little bit more, because I wanted those to be there, which means I need to bring, let me move this one down just a bit. Because I can't really go from here and try to stack under. I think we're going to go here. We will go here and see what happens. Sometimes too, where the spoke is determines where that's going to go. Now watch this come up too short. And broken zip tie. Gotta love when that happens. Okay, we need to get, there we go. Oop. It grabbed onto the floral and not the zip tie. Okay, there's that one. Now we'll put this one here. Okay. This will work. I have to go up a little bit higher. Okay. This one is broke. Sometimes you just get a run of bad zip ties. And the one that I had holding the bundle just snapped too. It just snapped. But thankfully I got it before all my floral went sideways. Okay, there's that one. Up. It's just trying to get that zip tie in just a little bit above where you have the bundle zip tie. There we go. And then we'll put our last bundle together. Just like that. Okay, last one. Trying to get this last little space. Okay, and then remember we have our fillers that are going to go right here in the center. Okay, so the way that we have this right now, I'm going to go ahead and complete the inside, and then we're going to just move our floral wherever you want your floral to go. Like you might want your peonies laying a little bit forward. You may want them straight forward. Like if someone was to walk up, let me show you what it looks like so far right now. You might want this a little further forward. You might want this off to the side. You'll be able to adjust those once we get everything secured on here. Just like so. And we'll be able to move things in place. So let's go ahead and grab these, which were our roses with our peonies. Let's see. I want my roses. This is where it gets technical because you're going to kind of add them. I'm just positioning how I want that one to kind of fall. Like I bent my stem so that when I let go, it's going to lay there. I'm going to move my rose to the front. Look, grab one that's a little bit longer. So this one's going to go here. These are going to fill in this section here. I'm going to kind of have it like that. And then this one's going to sit downward a bit. We will have, I think I'm going to put the ranunculus over here, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to zip tie these three together because these are the three that are going to fill that center section. And then we're going to go in and backfill anywhere that you might see a gap that you don't necessarily like. You know, like, well, I don't like how there's a little gap here between this purple flower. I wish I would have, let's keep doing that. Okay. So these are now going to go zip tied to our frame right here. It becomes challenging at times when you don't have a bow or something that's going to hide your zip ties and you're dealing with a very small space. Okay. Trying to go around my bike spokes. So I'm just rearranging some floral to match where I want it to be. Okay, so technically right now, all of the floral is attached to the hoop. Now what we're gonna do is wherever there's some gap, like you might want some additional filler in here, also down here around the bottom, like I have a filler hole right here I want to make sure is done. I am going to, let's see, I know I wanted this, and I know I wanted a rose. We're going to add another Ranunculus. And I'm just kind of looking at how these will fit in here. Kind of like that. So I'm going to make another mini bundle. I'm also going to add some lavender because I want to introduce some purple. So let's find our little purple guy. And we're going to get these done. It seems like the older we get, we lose our hand strength. So trying to, you know, feed things like mini pipe cleaners through that bundle just doesn't want to work. And I'm gonna kind of have them lay in here like this. So now the chore, putting that last little bundle to my frame, but it's not overly hard. The first thing I'm gonna do is get my zip tie where I need it. I'm gonna go ahead and push this in. You can just walk, they count, say. And I'm going to, just the smallest space. And I'm trying to make sure that I'm like holding. This is where you're like, Lord, please just let this not be a defective zip tie. There we go. Okay, we got it in. And of course this one didn't stay in, but that's not an issue that I have to be overly concerned with because we have glue gun. So when you're going to add additional floral to your mix, when people say, well, what are you gluing it to? We're gluing it to all of the bundles previously. Like if you're gonna come in here, you're gonna add glue, the glue is gonna go into whatever bundle we're adding this. And I think, ooh, I like that. I think I'm gonna add this. So I'm gonna trim this down. Let's move this over here. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just going to coat the end. This is still part of that pick that came with the peonies. And I'm just going to slide this right into my bundle. So that's going to fill that section. And then anywhere else you feel like you need additional floral, maybe you want to come in and add in some Queen Anne's lace down here to the bottom. You can definitely do that. Actually, I'm just going to slide this right inside my zip tie. There we go. Right into my zip tie it went. And now let's get some of these flowers moving. Let's get them up. Let's get them elevated. If you want to add in touches of, what do you call them, lamb's hair, you can definitely do that. So I am going to add some right underneath my peony. And let's see, we have some more lavender. Like, I'm feeling like we need something right in here. Like another piece of lavender I think would look great. Because otherwise it's empty. So I am going to glue this right into my bundle. Just like that to fill. And I don't have enough feathering edge here, so I want to pull some lavender here so that we have more of an edge here. Like, see the difference between that and then just adding this to that bunch? It just kind of feathers the effect out. So I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to glue. We're going to add this right into our bunch. Just like that. And then now it just becomes a matter of your personal preference, what you like, what you want to see. Like, I want to see some additional lavender kind of down here. You know, as your floral display gets a little thicker, I think you need some thickness down at the bottom, right under this rose. And then remember all the little pieces that we had saved from that leftover piece of lamb's hair? We're going to add this in right under here as well. I'm going to pull this aside. Oops, didn't want to rest my wrist up against the glue gun. There's that. There we go. So now it's just a matter of, like I said, just kind of coming around and looking at, you know, do you want to see anything else kind of pop from here? You can add, this is the Ranunculus leaves. So a lot of times what I'll do here is knowing where I have those placed, which is right in here. We'll just give those leaves right to the base of our flower, because where they have that situated, there was no way when you broke down your ranunculus, none of these were attached to the actual floral head. They're just like their own separate stem. So, because we're kind of pairing that with a nice sagey color, we can do it right in here. Under this one as well. There we go. And we'll do it here. Make sure we do the back side. So I'm going to lift this up and attach that right into that bundle. But I want to make sure that I'm not losing other florals in the process. Okay, not crazy about this one. That's just hanging there. Oh, hey, Kat, here's another piece of lavender. Let's go ahead and add some other pieces. Go ahead and tuck that in. I'm going to do the same as what we did on the other side, where we had that little trio. Let me find it. How we did it on that side, I'm going to do this here as well, just so we have more lavender kind of spilling out. So glue both sides, lifting this up and adding that into our bundle, just like so. What do you guys think? Super pretty. What are you thinking? Not crazy. I don't know why these little rosebuds have these little, I think it's supposed to be a baby's breath on it. they just are some weird, funky color. I think I need something in here. Let me look. Sometimes it's just a matter of like playing. Kind of like that there. I think I'm gonna put that there. So I'm just kind of personalizing it now. Again, they're wired, so we can make them lay however we would like. I'm going to split my lavender, but there we have it. It's all set. It's all done. What do you guys think? Will you be making one? Will you be giving it a go? Kind of like that there. It just was like too much white. I was like, ooh, a little piece of purple. Right in there would look really nice. So, depends on how you want to hang it. Some people like to hang it with the floral going this way. You can also hang it this way with your floral at the bottom, kind of cascading up. It's whatever, honestly, you truly desire. But that's it. That's how simple all this goes. Let's see. Joe posted, do you think that I could get a used bicycle frame from a bicycle shop? Yeah, you could. It might be a little bit more than just buying these already pre-done. You know, or like, I think it's like it's like about $19 to buy the bike wheel. So I think when I was pricing them, when these were hard to come by, they were very expensive to buy the actual frame. Okay, make sure I didn't miss any of your questions. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Mary says, would you consider adding a bow in the center? On this particular one, no, I'm not going to. You could if you wanted to. On this one, I didn't want to because I just wanted this to be nothing but spring florals. I mean, you could right here come in and add a bow instead of adding that extra set of peonies. You could add a small sign. It's entirely up to you. Just the possibilities of where you can go with this design are virtually unlimited. Where would you put a bow? Cindy asked, if you were to add one. I personally would not. If I were going to add a bow, I would have done it before I added this last set of florals to fill that space where the last two bunches came together. I would use that as a big bow space and then just have the bow kind of cascade through. It's entirely up to you though. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you would like to join my private group is still open. We're going to leave it open for just a little bit longer. To join that, you're going to go to KatsCreationsNMore.com. You can sign up for a yearly, which saves you close to $50, or you can go with a monthly rate and just take it month by month and see what you'd like to do. But thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys have a fantastic evening and a great work week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.